Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's webinar. I'm Balakrishnan and I'm the Executive Vice President for Zalaris Asia Pacific. I've also had the privilege of building and scaling our global in-house capabilities for Zalaris from the ground up since 2015. Today, we'll be diving into a topic that's fast becoming central to the future of enterprise HR and payroll operations, Managed Global Capability Centers or Managed GCCs. Let me begin by introducing Zalaris and the unique value we bring to the HR and payroll space. Zalaris is a leading European provider of multi-country HR and payroll solutions with a truly global footprint. We were founded in the year 2000, headquartered in Oslo, and over the past 2 decades, we've built a strong presence across 24 service centers, serving customers in over 150 countries. We essentially cover every time zone with teams that understand local regulations, compliance standards, and language needs. Each month, we process payroll for more than 550,000 employees and serve over 1.8 million employees across all our offerings. Behind this delivery engine is a team of 1,250 plus skilled professionals focused on accuracy, accountability, and customer success. At our core, we deliver cloud based GDPR compliant HR and payroll solutions tailored to support complex multi country operations. Whether you need software as a service, outsourced service, or a hybrid model, we've got it covered. So, whether you're looking to streamline process, improve visibility, or reduce operating costs, Zalaris is the partner that lets you focus on strategy while we run the engine for you. We take pride in supporting a broad and diverse client base spanning multiple industries and regions. Many of our customers operate on platforms like SAP and Workday, and Zalaris integrates seamlessly into those environments because we remain software agnostic by design. We work closely with some of the world's best brands, helping them navigate complex SAP integrations, drive digital HR transformation, and roll out global templates that scale across geographies. From retail to infrastructure, life sciences to energy, and even public sector institutions, Zalaris brings deep industry knowledge and specialized delivery teams tailored to each client's unique needs. This rich portfolio of clients is not only a badge of trust, it's a proof that our solutions are scalable, adaptable, and built for real world complex, regardless of your size, system landscape, or regional footprint. So, why is this conversation about global capability centers or GCCs more relevant now than ever before? Across the globe business landscape, we are seeing clear convergence of strategic, operational, and compliance driven shifts, and they are fundamentally changing how enterprise structure their support functions. Over the last decade, a staggering 75% of Fortune 500 companies have established global capability centers, most of them right here in India or the broader Asia Pacific region. And India, in particular, has emerged as the number one destination globally for setting up GCCs. You may wonder why. Well, it offers a powerful combination of talent availability, cost advantage, digital maturity, and regulatory alignment, especially for functions like HR and payroll, where complexity meets scale. Companies today are no longer just looking for lower costs, they want resilience, compliance, and control. GCCs provide exactly that, a structured, scalable model where critical operations are run with ownership and governance, but without the overhead of setting up a full captive entity. And as regulations like GDPR and local labor laws tighten across Europe and beyond, having a centralized, accountable, and tech enabled delivery model run by experts who understand these nuances is not just a benefit, it's become a necessity. This is exactly the space where Zalaris Managed GCC offering is built to deliver value. When we talk to organizations across industries, the message is loud and clear. Things are shifting fast, and staying still is no longer an option. Let me unpack what's really driving this transformation in how HR and payroll services are being delivered. First, we've all seen how recent global events, whether it's the pandemic, geopolitical conflicts, or sudden market shifts, have exposed the limits of traditional operating models. A lot of companies have found themselves struggling because their weren't built for disruption. What's needed now is not just efficiency, but resilience. A model that flexes with your business and doesn't break under pressure. Second, there's the obvious cost pressure, but with a twist. It's no longer about cutting costs by any means necessary. Today, you're expected to do more with less. Yes, but also maintain high quality service, ensure compliance, and deliver a great employee experience all at the same time. You need a setup that's efficient and uncompromising. That's where a well structured GCC model makes a huge difference. Third, the compliance environment has become a beast of its own. We are talking about GDPR, ISO 27001, SOC 2, and that's even before we get into the local labor laws, tax compliance, or union rules. Managing this through a patchwork of vendors or fragmented teams is absolutely risky. What you need is a centralized, accountable model that keeps the governance airtight, and that's baked into how a managed GCC operates. Fourth, and this one comes up often, it's becoming harder to find the right talent in many home markets, especially when you're looking for people with deep domain expertise in payroll, compliance, and HR platforms. India, on the other hand, has emerged as a strong hub for this, not just because of cost, but because of its quality and maturity of talents available. That's a huge advantage when you tap into through a trusted partner. And finally, this is no longer about old school outsourcing. What organizations are looking for today is transformation. They want automation, dashboards, analytics, flexibility, and not just a service provider, but a partner who can take on the responsibility and deliver outcomes. This is where the managed GCC model stands apart. It gives you the scale of a shared service, the accountability of a captive, and the innovation of a strategic partner, all without the overhead. So, if you're wondering why now, the reality is the longer you wait, the harder it gets to catch up. This isn't just about staying competitive, it's about building a future ready HR and a payroll engine without owning the risk or the burden of setting up it from scratch. Let's take a step back and ask what's really shaping how organizations are thinking about global capability centers today? It's no longer just about moving work offshore. Yes, cost center still matters, costs still matter, but it's no longer the sole driver. What we are seeing with our clients across Europe and APAC is a shift in expectations and a clear elevation of purpose. GCCs are no longer just operational hubs, they are expected to be strategic enablers. Back in the early 2000s, GCCs were largely built to cut costs. That was the game. But today, labor arbitrage is just table stakes. Enterprises don't just want cheap resources, they want people who understand the business domain, who can align with their SAP or Workday environments, handle local compliance, and deliver real business outcomes. You don't need just any other payroll administrator. You may need one who understands how SAP schemas behave differently, let's say in Germany, India, Singapore, and what the legal implications are for each jurisdiction. That's the difference between a body shop and a capability center. Next, the reality is the specialist HR and payroll talent isn't evenly distributed. If you're in Oslo or Munich or Paris, you already know how tough it is to find skilled SAP, HCM, success factors, or time and attendance experts, especially those who understand local language nuances, collective bargaining rules, or work council frameworks. That's where India, Southeast Asia, and increasingly our nearshore hubs like Riga, Grenada, or the operations in Poland come in. These hubs give you access to domain rich, multilingual professionals who not only know the platform but understand how it is applied in real world, country specific scenarios. It's not just about filling seats, it's about bringing in people who know how to solve, not just follow instructions. One of the biggest lessons from the past few years is that relying on a single delivery location or vendor is a risk, but not a strategy. That's why many of our clients are proactively building resilient delivery architecture. Think of it as an operational insurance. If a vendor fails, if a political event blocks operations, or even if a natural disaster disrupts a region, your GCC should not or does not stop. Zalaris designs GCCs with redundancy built in. So Riga can cover for India or Spain can back up for Poland. It's real-time failover for HR and payroll, and it ensures no business disruption for most of your sensitive operations. Regulations are shifting fast. Data residency, tax laws, labor codes, you name it. And if you're heavily dependent on one country, you're exposed. A managed GCC gives you geopolitical agility. With centers in India, Philippines, and Europe's nearshore regions, Zalaris offers you the ability to flex your delivery footprint based on evolving risk, legal mandates, and tax treaties. For example, GDPR compliance in the EU isn't just about where the data sits, it's about who processes it, in which language, and under what legal structure. That's why we lean on Riga and Grenada, where our teams are not only GDPR trained, but also operate under local EU jurisdiction. It gives our clients the peace of mind that compliance isn't just managed, it's being guaranteed. And let's be clear, automation and what we talk as machine learning is not a value add anymore, it's an expectation. Clients are no longer asking if we can automate. They are asking, how are you reducing manual payroll validation? How your help desk is intelligent, or is it just ticket based? At Zalaris, AI is embedded into our delivery model. We are using machine learning to automate audits, OCR to process payroll inputs faster, and NLP to triage employee queries in local languages. And we don't use AI to replace humans, we use it to augment capability, to make better outcomes, faster outcomes, cleaner and fully auditable. So, what does this all mean? It means that in today's world, GCCs aren't just about capacity, they are about capability. And that's exactly what Zalaris brings to the table. Our managed GCC is more than a delivery engine, it's a strategic growth enabler built with intelligence, compliance, resilience, and agility right from day one. Let's now address something that often comes up when we talk about capability centers. How is it different from what we've already outsourced? It's a fair question because on the surface, it might look very similar. There's a team, there's delivery, things get done. But when you start peeling back the layers, the difference between the traditional outsourcing and a managed global capability center is significant. And honestly, it's transformational. Think about typical outsourcing setup. You're essentially a customer, you raise tickets, wait for updates, and get monthly reports that often tell you what went wrong after the fact. The integration into your system, that's usually your headache. Automation, well, that could be optional and often something you have to drive and pay extra for. And the teams, they could change, rotate, or get reassigned. Every time that happens, knowledge is lost, context gets disappeared, and your risk grows. In contrast, a managed GCC model is like what we deliver at Zalaris, flips that experience entirely. You're not just a client, you're a strategic partner. The team is structured as an extension of your own organization, working within your SAP or Workday environment, follows your processes, and gets aligned to your goals. But here's the difference, you don't carry the operational burden, we do. Our delivery isn't ticket based, it's outcome driven. You get the shared dashboards, objective and key results. So you're not just guessing, there's a real time issue tracking that happens through our experts in the analytics and insights team, which ensures you're a part of the entire journey. The teams we build are not pulled from a common pool. They are retained, domain specific experts who understand your payroll logic, let's say in Germany. There could be the time of rules in, let's say, Australia, your labor union mappings in Finland, and they stay with you over the long term. And it doesn't stop at delivery. We embed automation, AI, and compliance controls into the core of the service, not as a project, but as a baseline. We've created programs that pre-check payroll inputs, AI tools that digitize timesheets, and natural language processing driven help desk workflows all woven into the fabric of the GCC. Plus, we don't just rely on a single location. We operate in Crocs 24 plus countries, giving our clients the ability to comply with GDPR, manage multilingual operations, and tap into local labor knowledge while ensuring resilience and redundancy. If one region goes down, another can easily pick it up. That's business continuity by design. And perhaps most importantly, the managed GCC isn't just about doing what's already being done at a lower cost, it's about transforming how it's done. It becomes your engine for scalability, standardization, and future readiness without needing to build that engine yourself. So, no, this isn't outsourcing 2.0. Here's something our clients really value: how fast can you get up and start running? Because of our exshoring presence in India, Latvia, Spain, and Poland, we already have ready to deploy teams who are trained in SAP success factors and local compliance. Whether it's ramping up a 3% pod or onboarding a 50-member tube transfer team, we are able to do this in a matter of weeks, not months. And it's not just about staffing quickly, it's about staffing right. We don't drop in generic resources. We build role-based teams with process owners, compliance specialists, automation engineers, and delivery leads. This lets you plug in your landscape without needing long onboarding cycles or knowledge transitions. Add to that real-time dashboards, embedded automation, built-in GDPR compliance via our EU-based centers in Riga or Granada, and a governance model that brings you into the cockpit of what you've already radically have shifted on your operating experience. It's no longer outsourcing, it's ownership without the overhead. And that's what makes the managed GCC model not just efficient but strategic. When we sit down with global HR and payroll leaders, the concerns we hear are surprisingly consistent. Regardless of industry, geography, or scale, there's this quiet frustration that builds up over time from having to juggle too many disconnected systems, too many vendors, and too many manual intervention. Often the conversation starts with, we've just got too many payroll vendors and across our markets. And it's true. Many global firms today still operate with a fragmented vendor landscape. One provider, let's say for Nordics, another for APAC, someone else handling LATAM. It might have made sense at some point of time, but today it's just not scalable. There's no consistency, no single source of truth, and the whole lot complexity every time something changes, be it legislation, internal structures, or system upgrades. Then there's the legacy challenge, the ERP systems that have been stable but are really isolated. They were never built to speak fluently with modern tools or processes, and certainly not with the external payroll vendors. So, what you end up with are workarounds, data handoffs, and a lot of Excels in between. It's functional but fragile. And of course, there's the pressure to reduce onshore costs. Leadership wants scale, CFOs want efficiency, but the reality in many firms are still running payroll operations from high cost locations because moving it offshore either felt risky or meant losing grip. But here's what we've learned at Zalaris: you don't need to trade control for cost. Our managed GCC model helps organizations transition their HR and payroll operations to India or to the nearshore hubs like Riga, Granada, or Poland, not just because it's cost efficient, but because the teams we've built are deeply experienced in SAP, and more importantly, they have the agility to learn and absorb your current and legacy systems quickly. And there's something that's important to highlight. The teams we build in the managed GCC model are client dedicated and function as an extension of your internal team. From day one, they align with your ways of working, your systems, your priorities. They are fully embedded into your delivery framework but stay on the Zalaris payrolls. This gives you the flexibility and scalability of outsourcing with the control and continuity of an in house team. The goal isn't to burden you with handovers, it's to take the non core work off your plate. Our transition teams handle the lift, they assess your process, harmonize fragmented systems, re engineer workflows, and ultimately migrate you to a single global platform. What this delivers is more than efficiency. It's seamless, standardized global service center experience where every country, every region, every user operates with the same level of quality, transparency, and compliance. The real friction often sits in the middle between the systems and people. We hear it all the time. Our payroll operations aren't automated, or we are still checking things manually before we release every month. And this is where we built our automation directly into the GCC model, from programs that validate input files to real-time dashboards through our analytics and insights team that surface errors even before they become as escalations. And we are not pitching AI as a futuristic layer, it's already part of how we deliver. One of the most recurring concern is the fear of losing visibility. I get it. When you move something critically offshore, there is this anxiety of losing touch. But the truth is, most of our clients tell us they actually gain more control once the managed GCC is in place. You know why? Because they get full transparency, live reporting, shared objective and key results, structured governance calls. You are no longer chasing updates, but you are always in the loop. And then that's the final frustration that really stings. Our provider just doesn't get the local rules. It's a very common complaint and frankly a dangerous one. Payroll isn't just a math, it's legislation, union agreements, tax compliance, cultural nuances. That's why Zalaris doesn't really rely on generic teams. We invest in local experts, multilingual support, and nearshore teams that understand what's happening on the ground just in the system. All these challenges, they're real, they're common, but they're not inevitable. And when you move to a managed GCC model designed to solve for those exact problems, the shift isn't operational, it's strategic. You move from managing vendors to enabling value, from firefighting issues to tracking outcomes, from complexity to clarity. And that's when payroll stops being a pain point and starts becoming your strength. So, what's the Zalaris managed GCC model actually look like in practice? Well, it starts by acknowledging what clients are really asking for, not just lower cost, but more control. That's exactly what we have to offer. A model where Zalaris runs the center, but you retain the operational visibility and strategic influence. It's not a black box vendor setup. It's an extension of your team, with Zalaris providing the infra, the governance, and the delivery engine behind it. The core of this model is platform-led delivery. We bring in together our own Zalaris People Hub combined with SAP capabilities to standardize and unify operation across all the countries that you operate. Whether you are currently managing multiple tools, local processes, or siloed compliance layers, we help bring that into one cohesive landscape without the chaos of reinventing everything from scratch. And the expertise matters. With over 25 years of expertise in the HR and payroll industry, we just don't bring in transactional processes. We build service ownership from day one. Our team include payroll SMEs, service managers, automation leads, and change management experts, all focused on running your payroll operations with the quality, compliance, and local nuance you'd expect out of your own team. Now, while cost efficiency through labor arbitrage still plays a big role, especially with our Indian delivery centers, what clients see more, excuse me, what clients see more and more is the value in innovation, speed, and simplification. We are able to optimize margins and performance not just through cheaper resources but through smarter delivery. That's where the difference lies. We also understand that many companies are transitioning from traditional BPO setups. That's why our model supports the tube led lift and shift, helping you stabilize operations quickly and then evolve the setup into a mature modern GCC with pods aligned into regions, platforms, or functions. And because long term success is built on talent, we co invest in developing future ready teams. That includes nurturing early careers, continuous reskilling, and building center of excellence in areas like SAP payroll or process automation or analytics. So when we say Zalaris managed GCC, strategic control is automatically delivered. It's not just a line, it's a reflection of how we structure the model, your capability, and our engine. One of the things we hear from prospects and partners alike is we know we need to evolve, but we're not sure where to start or how fast we want to move. And that's exactly why we've built our model to be flexible, modular, and completely aligned with where you are today and where you want to go next. With Zalaris, there's no one size fits all approach. Instead, we offer a range of engagement models that let you start small, scale smart, and mature our operations over time. For some companies, it starts with classic HR and payroll outsourcing. If what you need is SLA driven payroll outsourcing, HR admin delivery, and operational stability, especially on SAP, we've got that foundation covered. You get the benefits of compliance and continuity without the burden of managing internal teams. Others come to us with a very specific domain need, say payroll, analytics, finance, or automation advisory. That's where our functional pods come in. These are dedicated domain led teams that plug into your business without adding to your headcount. You get expertise on tap minus the operational overhead. Now, as organizations scale, especially across regions, they start looking for visibility and stronger governance without taking on the execution burden themselves. That's where our co managed operations model fits beautifully. You steer the strategy and priorities, we own the delivery, execution, and the outcomes. It's structured, collaborative, and keeps you in the driver's seat. For those who are looking to transform at scale without setting up a legal entity, the answer is our fully managed global capability center. Here, Zalaris handles end to end delivery, including tech, talent, automation, compliance, and governance. It's your engine. We just run it for you. Clients love this model because it brings the best of captive capability minus the operational risk and cost. And finally, for organizations who have long term plans to internalize and own their capability center, we offer a build, operate, transfer model. We help you build a GCC, operate it under our governance, and over time hand it over fully to you, complete with systems, teams, and the process being in place. So, whether you're just looking to stabilize or ready to transform, our models allow you to start where you are and scale as you grow. That flexibility is what makes Zalaris a long term partner, not just another provider. When we talk about the real advantage of a managed global capability center with Zalaris, it's not just about offshoring or delivery models. It's about unlocking something much more meaningful for your organization. For most of our clients, the first thing they experience is the ability to scale quickly and confidently. Whether you're expanding into new markets or consolidating fragmented operations, the managed GCC structure allows you to do that without layering on any more complexity. There is no need to set up legal entities or navigate unfamiliar regulatory environments. We've already done that groundwork. What you get is streamlined, low friction path to international growth. What also stands out is the financial predictability this model brings in. In a world where headcount costs and compliance risks can spike without a warning, our clients value having a clean, scalable operating expense model. It brings control back to business. No surprises, no hidden layers, just clarity on what it costs to run operations well and the ability to scale those operations up or down with ease. And then, of course, there is a regulatory landscape. For HR and payroll leaders, compliance isn't just a checkbox, it's daily operational risk. With Zalaris, you're working with a partner whose delivery is designed around regulatory, tax, and labor law, adherence in every country we operate in. From GDPR in the EU to local wage codes in APAC, compliance isn't about we react to. It's something we build into every process from day one. But what I think clients value the most is the space this model creates internally. By moving operational delivery into the hands of experts, our own teams finally have the breathing room to focus on transformation, strategy, and innovation. It shifts the conversation from how do we get payroll out of the payroll system this month, or how do we build a better employee experience overall. And that's the real promise of the managed GCC model. It's not just about outsourcing work, it's about creating the capacity, control, and confidence to take your business forward. Before we open up for questions, let me take a moment to bring this to a full circle. What we've discussed today isn't just about outsourcing or cost reduction. It's about how global organizations, especially those looking to expand into India or scale across Europe and APAC, can unlock strategic value through a managed global capability center model. At Zalaris, we don't believe in a one size fits all solution. We understand the nuances of your legacy systems, the regulatory intricacies of each market, and the cultural sensitivities that come with global HR and payroll operations. Our delivery hubs in India and APAC are built to offer more than just an operational support. They are designed to function as an extension of your enterprise. Whether you're dealing with fragmented vendor landscape, outdated systems, or simply struggling to scale your back office functions, we step in as a true strategic partner. We help you centralize, standardize, and streamline your HR and payroll operations into a unified platform, leveraging deep SAP and SuccessFactor expertise backed by our People Hub framework and extending beyond payroll into areas like finance and accounts, IT, compliance, or analytics. And critically, we do this without asking you to give up control. Your governance structures stay intact. Your service experience gets sharper, and your internal teams are finally freed up to focus on transformation and not just transaction. That's what makes Zalaris different. That's what makes Managed GCC not just another delivery model, but a growth enabler. And if you'd like to explore this further or have any questions, please scan this QR code to book a quick discussion with me. Alternatively, you can drop in an inquiry on our contact page and we'll get back to you. With that, I'm happy to move into the questions. Well, how long does it take to set up a managed GCC with Zalaris? It really depends on the complexity, but typically we can initiate a delivery within 8 to 12 weeks, starting with a tuplet or a lift and shift model and stabilizing within the first quarter. Do you only support SAP clients? While we especially have our expertise around SAP and success factors, our delivery is software agnostic. We support Workday, Oracle, and hybrid environments as well. What geographies do you support from your GCCs? Our delivery centers in India and the Philippines serve Europe, APAC, and North America. All centers are ISO certified and GDPR compliant with local language and regulatory expertise. Unfortunately, we do not have time for any more questions, but we will follow up with answers on an email. I would also like to take this opportunity to inform you about our upcoming events. Team Zalaris will be there at Unleash in Paris, October 21st and the 22nd. We are giving away free tickets. Visit the event section on our website and enter the free giveaway to win your access pass to the most influential HR event of the year. Thank you for joining us today. I hope this session had helped clarify how a managed GCC can be a strategic asset in your transformation journey. And thank you again for taking time to participate today. Take care and have a great day ahead. Thank you.